Hello and welcome to another tutorial here on Techboy Tutorials. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install NodeJS on Windows 10. So without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, just go to Google Chrome or any browser of your choice. Yep, I'll just log into it now. Just wait a bit. Sometimes you got to be patient with these things. Yeah, sometimes you've really got to be patient with these things. I hate it. I hate it when this happens. Okay, so now when you're finally in, just type into the search bar NodeJS install, and then download Node.js is the thing you want to click. Now you'll be brought here, and now you'll have two options with regards to installing. Well, two and then there's three, but we'll get into that later. So you have LTS, which is the recommended version for most users, and this is because it's the most stable version, whereas current is more experimental. So I think it will be better for both me and you watching to just download the LTS version that's recommended for most users. So let's get into it. And as this is Windows, it's going to be Windows Installer. And then just wait for this to download here. This is the installer. Now click. And yet now you'll have the Node.js setup wizard, so just click on next. I mean, you can read all of this if you want, but it's so long, I doubt you can be bothered to. Well, I can't anyway. Don't know about you lot. Maybe you can. But yeah, so just tick that box, then click on next. Click on next again. Click on next yet again. Once again, click on next. And now click on install. And now we wait. This can take a while, of course, depending on what laptop or PC you're using. Mine is probably going to take a while because it's a fairly cheap laptop, I can't lie. Yeah, so while we're waiting, how's your day been? Yeah, mine's been pretty good. Just finished up at work today. And it was alright, yes. Now I'm back showing you all how to install Node.js. What about you? Did you have a nice dinner? Got anything nice planned in the coming days? Oh, I see. Installing and using Node.js. Yeah, that sounds pretty decent. Right, but anyway. So yeah, now it's finished, and you just click on finish, and that's Node.js installed. So yeah, if you go into Windows, you go down, and you'll see the Node.js folder. And now you'll see the additional tools for Node.js, Node.js itself, the command prompt, the documentation, the website, the option to uninstall it, and that's non-security, so don't mind that. Yeah. So I think what we'll do now is I'll show you how to use the Node.js command prompt. So first of all, I'm going to pin it to the taskbar. First of all, I'm going to pin it to the taskbar, and how you do that is right click, go on more, pin to taskbar, and then click on it. And then brings us here. And just to make sure Node.js is actually installed, just type in node-v. So as you can see, that's version 16.13.0, which is the same version as here. And it's also important to make sure something called npm is installed as well. So to make sure that's installed, just type in npm-v. Yep, got version 8.1.0, so we're good there. So that's the Node Package Manager. So that's basically for installing various modules you might need using Node.js, which tend to carry out like particular functions when you're developing your Node.js applications. So now Node's installed, one thing you can do is you can use the command prompt to run JavaScript code. So if you type in Node, just Node, and press enter, it will take you into a sort of environment where you can type in JavaScript code and then the terminal will run and compile it for you. So for example, if I was to type in 3 plus 3, it would return 6. And you can do the same with strings. If you concatenate the strings hello plus world, you'll get hello world. And another thing you can do is create variables, like for example, var x is equal to 3 and var y is equal to 4. And then if you do x plus y, that'll be 4 plus 3, which is 7. Alright, now to exit out of this, there's 3 ways you can do this. You can either Control C twice, just type in .exit, or you can Control D. So that's how you can use Node.js in the terminal. Now, another interesting thing you can do with Node.js is obviously what it's mainly made for in creating servers. So to give you an example, I'll open VS Code first of all. And as you can see, you've got a node practice folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a script.js file. And this is where we're going to have our JavaScript code that's going to create our, it's going to create our server. And to get the code for that, if you just look up Node.js Getting Started Guide, Node.js, click on that. And you want to copy all of this code here. So Control C and go back onto VS Code and just paste it all in the script.js file. So HTTP is just the module we're using, and the require function here basically just kind of imports the module for you. You have the host name here, which is the host the server will be running on, the port, which is the port it will be running on. Just because I can, I think I'll just change it to 8080. Don't know why, I just am. So then http.createServer, that's a function built into the HTTP module, which it's exactly what it says on the tin. It creates a server for you. This is the status code, which is 200, which basically just means everything's fine. This sets this res.set header, well, it sets a header, and it sets the content type to text/plain, which matches the content of this here, which is a string, just hello world on res.end. And then to actually run the server.listen function is used. And this takes in the parameters of port and hostname, and then the function here, basically, it's an arrow function, and it just does a console.log. And it basically prints server running at http://hostname. So this syntax, it basically will take the content of the hostname constant here and put it here. And the same with port. So when it's actually printed, it will read 127.0.0.1:8080/. And to run it, it's quite simple. So I'm going back into the command prompt here, though you can do this in the terminal inside VS Code as well. So if you don't feel like navigating to the file, you can just simply type in node script.js. Just go into a command prompt, node script.js. And you can see now that it's been printed server running at http 127.0.0.1:8080. So if we copy this link here, go back onto Chrome, paste it into the search bar and enter, we'll be brought here, which is hello world, which is exactly what's contained in here. So that means if we were to change this text to goodbye world, for example, and so to stop the server running, just Control C. There we go. And now I'll type in node script.js again with all my changes. And then it's printed again, and if we refresh this host or this server, you'll get goodbye world. So as you can see, whatever's in here is what will be printed here. So yeah, that's how you can use Node.js to create a very simple server. Right, so I think that will bring us to the end of today's tutorial. So I think we learned a lot today. We learned not only how to just install Node.js, but how to use it in the command line, and even create a very simple server with it. And Node.js is, honestly, from my experience, just such a great tool. There's so many different things you can use it for with the amount of modules you can import and everything. And it's just, once you know how to get started on it, it's just such a great tool to use for kind of back end. So anyway, I hope this tutorial has been useful to you, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, don't hesitate to like and subscribe, and turn notifications on, so if any more useful tutorials pop up, you'll be one of the first to know about them. Right, been so lovely seeing you all. I mean, so lovely to teach you all today, and I will be seeing you in the next video.